To speak on the resolution.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to commend the previous two gentlemen and the good work they've done on this issue, Mr. McClintock and Mr. Biggs. Mr. Biggs mentioned, used the phrase flirting with danger, and I think that's appropriate. And I guess I want to go back to something that Mr. McClintock mentioned. I guess I mentioned it as well, but when you have the Secretary of Homeland Security ask the question, when the question was posed to him, what is the status of the people that you've encountered on the border, not to mention the ones who they didn't encounter, but the ones you've encountered on the terrorist watch list, what is their status? As Mr. McClintock pointed out, yeah, we know who the numbers, but he couldn't answer, and they don't report what happens to him. When we asked him that question, and he said he didn't know. Again, I think, what does it say about the guy in that job that he didn't? Remember, we asked the majority for over a year to bring in Secretary Mayorkas for a hearing on the chaos on our southern border. You would think when he comes, he would be prepared to answer that question, knowing that it's going to get asked. What's the status of the people you've encountered, illegals entering our country who are on the terrorist watch list? You would think he would be more prepared than to have the answer he gave us, which was, I don't know. So that's why we want to get this information. I mean, I think he was generally, I don't think he was trying to hide anything. I think he just didn't know, which is concern in and of itself to me. There are some things he said that I think he's just not giving us the straight scoop. As the gentleman from Arizona pointed out, when the secretary said the border is secure, we obviously know it's not. When the borders are, the vice president said the border is secure, we obviously know it's not. But when Mr. Mayorkas also said we are executing our plan, I think he was being square with us then. I think their plan is to not have a secure, but not to have a border. But I think the real question is, how can the Secretary of Homeland Security give us that kind of answer when you pose such a fundamental, basic question, and he's not prepared to answer, doesn't know the status of the people he's encountered who are on the terrorist watch list? I find that frightening and just underscores why this information is so important and why we're asking for it. With that, I'd yield to the gentleman from North Carolina.
I thank the gentleman from Ohio, and I think to put a